All right, designers, today we are going to be looking at the 3D and materials panel. So, um, we are going to be looking at, if you come up to Window, this very first one called 3D and materials. Up at the top of our screen, it says open the 3D and materials window by going to Window, 3D and materials. For each of the stars below, apply the specified 3D type. So you can see in your panel that we have 4 different types of 3D renderings: plane, extrude, revolve, inflate. So for each one, we're going to notice how the colors are affected in terms of the stroke and fill, and how that affects how it looks in 3D. So if we do a plane, we get this option here to rotate, and this basically puts our object onto a 3D graph. So instead of just having the X and Y axis, we now have the Z axis as well. For extrude, you'll see that essentially it makes copies on top of itself. So whatever your stroke color is becomes the color of your sides. If you were to change the color of your stroke, you would see that affect the color of the sides of your object. Now, revolve does some very interesting things. Probably not what you expected. Let me go back so we can see what we're doing. This currently has no fill, or a white fill, and a pink stroke. So what this does when we hit revolve is it's taking our object and repeating it around in a circle, kind of infinitely. If I rotate this, you can see this is a fully three-dimensional object. So this would be like the point of your star and the inside of your star. Now you can change how this rotates, and you can do some fun things like twisting it up. Makes it kind of look like a churro. And then we also have inflate. This basically just fills our object with air. It'll default to keeping it flat in the back and inflating in the front, but you can also choose inflate on both sides to make it fully round. For each of these options, you have a lighting grid where you can change where the light is hitting your object. And you can add multiple light sources so that it's being lit up from multiple angles, depending on the effect that you're trying to get. This second part, we are going to look at how we can use revolve to create a 3D vessel. So this says to trace the right contour edge of the vase below, leaving the path open. So I'm just going to start up here at the top. I'm going to switch to just a stroke. And I'm just going to use the pen tool. Leaving the path open, which means I'm just not going to connect back up to the top. Now, if you remember how the revolve tool works, it's going to spin this around the left edge. So I'm going to click revolve, and you'll see that it made copies going around in a circle, and I have this nice little object. Now, the nice thing about this is actually a live path that can still be edited. So here we see, oh, our vessel is not hollow like it should be. So what I can do is take my direct selection tool, and this becomes like digital pottery. I'm going to click and drag this anchor point in. So that I have an inside edge. I'm going to move this over here. This also says to apply a wooden material in the Materials tab of 3D and Materials. So I'm going to come over here. And if you scroll down, you can see there are a whole bunch of different default materials that you can apply to your objects. We're going to look for the one that's wooden. And there you go, your own vessel. This last part says create your own custom vessel by using pen tool or other drawing tools and the revolve effect. So you could draw chess pieces, a baseball bat, drinkware, anything you can think of here that is cylindrical, basically. All right, happy designing.